Nate here from fitnessequipmentcafe.com, and I'm here in Perth at the Fitness Expo 2015, and I'm joined by Adam Lewitt, who is the CEO of Summit. Mate, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
That's great.
Happy to be here.
So just off camera we were talking to Adam about the Star Trac console and all the exciting things that are happening, and so we just wanted to give people a little bit more detail about the back end of it, and especially for gym operators and gym owners, what it means to them.
Yep. I mean, not just on the treadmill but our entire cardio platform. We've decided to go with an open API platform. We analysed the market and we looked at a lot of our competitors, and a lot of the competitors were creating a closed platform, so you either had to have some kind of system or key or pass to be able to access their platform. And I guess we identified that Google, Motorola, Apple, all these guys were moving technology far greater than any fitness provider could.
Right.
So rather than creating a platform, we decided to create an open API platform.
Okay, so can you explain what API means in maybe a sentence or two?
Sure. So I'll give you an example. You know, Under Armour, the clothing company, very recently bought the Map My Fitness, Map My Run company, and that's an app that people could use.
Yep.
So API is basically a bit of software or coding that allows our product to talk to that app. So if you want to go for a run outside using your Garmin, Sunto, Polar, and you want to track those metrics through the Under Armour application, you can come in and use our product and also work off exactly the same platform. So the concept is outdoor fitness, indoor fitness, not you have to use one platform for in the gym and a second platform outside of the gym.
Right, so if I've got this right, so you don't actually have your own platform in terms of there's not an app for Star Trac, example, it is you're using other people's apps, so it's all in one spot.
Spot on. Because again, we know we cannot keep up with the speed of Apple, Motorola, Google. We know what they're doing, we know that we can't keep up.
And it kind of saves on your research and development, doesn't it? You can focus on other things.
Yeah, 100%. But the other thing is we also know next year there's going to be 4,000 or 5,000 fitness wearables hit the market. There'll only be a couple of them that'll stick, but you know, for example, there's a product called Stride, and what Stride does, it'll clip to the back of your pants, and it'll actually measure the velocity in which you're running and the power that you're running. Now, if we want to have that fitness wearable talk to our technology, we can, because it's open and they can communicate to each other. Whereas for our competitors to develop that, there's a whole research, there's a whole development process. If something fantastic hits the market in the next 2 years that we're not even thinking about, for us to communicate with that, it's just a matter of writing a bit of software, a bit of program, and then we're ready to go.
So it's a super flexible platform for you guys, really, isn't it? So and everyone benefits, right?
If you look at the industry right now, everything's about group challenges and small group training and creating that community. So for example, I've mentioned Under Armour because that's a product that we link to right now, and through that Under Armour app you can create communities, group challenge, link to different Facebook accounts and create closed group, open groups. If I wanted to run City to Surf, I could create a running challenge competition through the app and again create that community through it as well. And it's not closed, it's not restricted. If I wanted to do it nationwide, I can do it, and it's very easy, very simple.
I mean, smart consoles they're the way to go, right? I mean, you're still selling quite a few LEDs as well.
Like everything, the industry goes through ebbs and flows, and I actually feel that we're flowing out of the embedded screen. There was a stage there where everybody wanted an embedded screen, and we're seeing as a manufacturer people going back to the LED. And again, the great thing about our product is even if you have an LED console, you can still use the Under Armour app because the software will still talk. Where again, a lot of our competitors, you need to buy the top of the range to be able to access their platform. So we're seeing people go, I don't want to spend this much on having a TV in here, because people are coming in with their own phones or iPads and going back to TV on the wall.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. I hadn't realised that. So there you go. There's a possible trend for 2016. So there you go.
Absolutely.
So, can you talk to us a little bit about the basics of the Star Trac treadmill and what makes it different to other treadmills on the market?
Sure. I mean,
other than the console.
From a design perspective, it was designed by BMW, and that's something we get a lot of comments just on the shape, and again a little little bit of a point of difference.
I remember the first time I actually tried these treadmills, it was down south of Sydney at a leisure centre, and there was a whole row of them, and geez, they stood out. They were just like, wow, yeah, really cool.
What a lot of our manufacturers do is they might put the suspension just here, and so when I'm fresh and I very first start running, that's where my suspension is, and that's perfectly fine. But then they neglect the back of the deck, forgetting about the fact that when we fatigue, we move forwards and backwards in the deck. We don't do that at all. Our suspension at the strike zone is exactly the same as the suspension as the back of the deck. And then we do have some interactive things. For example, we've got Kimberly here, I don't know if you can see that, who's the running coach. So if you've not run before, or you're in a facility and you need someone to motivate you, you can just basically follow Kimberly as a program who's educating you how to run, but also challenging you during the run as well.
Fantastic. So you got the full support from the back end for the managers as well as the end users?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from a service perspective as well, we've got warehousing infrastructure all through Australia to support it on the spare parts, but yeah, like you said, with our asset management system, with our open API platform, with all the programming, it can be all the way from end user to club manager. There's a benefit.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the back end for club managers? So what can they expect to see, and what kind of data can they gain knowledge about their club and their users?
Sure. So our asset management is optional. And basically what the asset management does is tell us how many kilometres the treadmill's done. If they scan in through the QR code, we can know if it's a male or a female user, so basically who's using the product. Where that becomes important is, again, from a manufacturer's perspective, we know roughly how long the components will last. So instead of waiting for the product to break down, on our next maintenance we can go, well, this treadmill belt's done 40,000 kilometres, so instead of letting it break down, let's replace it. So we can...
So preemptive. Prevention's better than cure, right?
Genuine preventative maintenance. We've had a lot of success in the hotel market where, at the end of the day, for the hotels, the gym is not their core business. They just want a solution, and they don't have somebody in their day-to-day, so they're not aware of some of the error codes that come through. So if my console has an error 7, we have the ability for that to push through to our head office and often know that there's a fault before the manager knows.
That's amazing, absolutely amazing. So there you have it. Adam Lewitt, from the CEO of Summit, has just given us a nice rundown on the Star Trac technology. Definitely worth a check out. And if you like this video, send me a comment in the comment section on YouTube.